And you can, hello there, out there on YouTube. Welcome back, friends. Here we are. There's a lot to do today, so I want to get with it. Can you see? I got a camera person. It never looks like it's what I mean. What we're going to be doing is working on that broken chain and explaining some of that stuff. This is the broken chain. There was a real nice viewer. Let me get his name out so he can be thanked properly, but I'm not good at Robert or Bob. Because down here, I'm trying to read this but can't read it. It's Robert, Mackelvey. He sent me a hook, grade 100. Here you can kind of see this is. It's 5/16 grade 100 hook, 5,700 pound working load limit. And it was funny because he ordered it from this place here. And that morning, I had just ordered from the same place a chain. Now I decided to go from the grade 80 chain up to grade 100 chain. And this is the hook that he sent me. The reason I went with this is, number one, it's blue. I wanted to go grade 100. I did not want Chinese chain because Chinese chain or metal or steel or whatever I found is brittle. I've had it break 4 or 5 times that I know of. I bought 3 little cheap hammers and you hit them and boom, they exploded. Those are probably cast, and they just treated, or heat treated them too fast and made them brittle. And some chains on tire chains that they would slap down on the ground, and the metal was breaking. It wasn't wearing out. So I didn't want to go with the Chinese steel. What I ordered is Swedish steel, and this is Swedish. This company makes both of these. This one here is Italian, and this is the same manufacturer that Bob sent me, and I could not get this hook. They didn't make a 5/16, or I couldn't find it. Probably I couldn't find it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this chain together. So I'm going to put mine together first. If I can find the little hoodoogie. I already lost it. I'm such a scatterbrain here. I think I might have already lost it. No, there it is. There's that. Where'd that little roll pin go? Or did I lose that already? There it is. So we're going to put the chain in here like that. This little pin goes through like so. These are roll pin punches, and is what they have. I don't know if you can see it in there. There's a little high spot in the center that holds that roll pin. So you put that in there, and hopefully I can tap this in here. I did bring a few tools to be ready, I think. I'll probably hit it and it'll go flying like a rocket. No, there it goes, I think. That thing came out. There it goes. I've never put one of these kind in. And didn't come quite all the way through, so that's when you want to use your roll pin punch. Just get it to go a little bit further. So that's got the one end. I never really used one of that style. I usually just use a bolt that goes all the way through like this, and then put a bead of weld on the end of it, grade 80, and that doesn't come out. So we're going to try this. Then on this chain here, this is 10 foot now, 5/16 grade 100. If I said something else, then I made a mistake. And we got the same thing here, so we'll put the chain in, put that through, make that go. It bottoms out on a fatter area here, so it can't escape on that way. I don't know whether I like that a whole lot. I guess time will tell. This roll pin on this one's a little bit beefier than the roll pin on the other one. As long as it doesn't start coming through on the other side, I'm happy. So there's my new chain to replace the one that I had. Whoa. Chain overboard. I really don't. Oh, that's kind of interesting. It's got a little It's got a little thing there to hold that chain as it wraps around, which is good or bad. I don't really know what this is for, but it doesn't make any difference. So now I gotta go, this is my new chain. This one's 10 foot. We'll put that up there. Now the reason I went with 5/16 chain years ago, if you can get in on this, this is my book where back before they had computers, if you read something in a book you wanted to keep it. I'm running grade 80 chains, 5/16. Now they said the strength and safe working load was 5,100. Now it's 5,700. But the 5/16 weighs 1 pound per foot. If I went to a grade 3/8, okay, grade 70, okay, a foot long is 1.75. So in a 10-foot section, it's 7.5 pounds lighter, and you really don't lose very much strength. The time that this is my information book. Anytime, this is before you could get on a computer and get any kind of information you want. Anyhow, that's why I went with that. It's lighter, and now as I'm looking back on the situation, I'm really happy that I did that. The next thing we're going to do is we got to cut this old hook off this old chain, and I'm going to put the one that Bob sent me on it. So I've already cut some of the way through, so we're just going to go a little bit further through. These little cutter wheels, those things are amazing, aren't they? So we take that off, bring that over here, take my gloves off, mittens off, so I can kind of do what I'm doing here. Push that pin through there the way the other one did. Now that other one, the press pin was a lot bigger. Not that it matters. This one here's got a lot better. I already learned to keep that thing down there. It won't go through. Yeah, it's going. Press pin tool. Now the difference in these two hooks, which I've noticed just putting them in, this one has a nice cast lip so your chain doesn't release. This one here has a pressed metal one so your chain doesn't release. I don't know which one's better. I think that possibly this one's better. Now this chain was the one that broke. What I am going to do, because I had broke this on another pull that I did, and what I did was just put 2 grade 8 bolts through 2 different lengths so it was doubled up, and that's not what gave up. If I get this off, which I think I can, I'm going to make a 7-foot chain. This one I've already measured. It's going to be 7 foot long, and I think that's going to be good. I don't have another hook though, so I'm going to order another one of, there's the end. I'm going to order another one of these hooks, because then I'll have a matched set. This will be a grade 80, this is going to be a grade 100, which I'll know the difference when I'm doing it. The blue is, I hope their paint stays on better than my paint stays on, but I should be able to find that in the woods if I drop it. So that's it on chains. But why that chain broke and why this failed, I'm going to try to show you real quick, except for I forgot a pencil. Let me go get a pencil. Just happen to have one here in the Kubota right behind us. Okay, when I was pulling, okay, if this is the winch and it's going out to a snatch block and it's going around there and coming back up to the, to the skid steer. Okay, one line is 20,000 pounds. 2 lines, because this doubles the hook, okay, to the snatch block, makes the pull here at 40,000. Okay, then I went down and hooked onto the chain, okay, which now I can pull 40,000 pounds. Well, when I wrapped it around the tree, I wrapped it halfway around the tree so that when it pulled, it would turn this tree this way, and it did not pull. So that means, in theory, you are creating another snatch block with this slip hook at this point here in the tree. So at this point here, I had the capability of pulling 80,000 pounds, but I don't think I was pulling that much when that broke. But that's so, it's 80,000 pounds is what I had the capability, I guess that's 80,000, of pulling at that point. That was the weakest point, and that's what broke. So if I pulled it straight, it'd probably been all right. If you go back and look at that video, you'll probably see that that tree was starting to move. If I just pulled it straight on the first pull, but I wasn't pulling straight on the first pull either, who knows what would have happened. But it's out, it's gone, and that was in a past movie. We're always doing stuff here. So the next thing, we had a bunch of wind and blew my wind thing. That thing sparkles in the daytime. It catches the sun everywhere you can. In the nighttime, it catches the moon. It catches everything. The hook on it broke, and it's broken a couple times, but it was this fisherman's hook thing that broke. But this time here, it even stretched this out. This is kind of a weak point. I had two what do you call it, needle nose pliers here to fix this. Yeah, that doesn't pull a whole lot real hard. Maybe that's probably the next thing I got to replace. But that one hung in there. Well, that one didn't. It hung in before. But what we're going to do, we're going to take one of these off, and we're going to put this on here. Someone playing a drum? Kind of sounds that way. We're going to hook this back on here, and we're going to go hang it back up out there and see what we can do. Can you carry? Oh, maybe out here in the sun it'll. It's this is a swivel that. I like my wind spinners, so we're going to go out and hang that wind spinner up, and the pattern on the ground is pretty neat too. Can you catch that pattern on the ground? Can't catch it. This will turn up like this. Can you? Now you might be able to get some of it. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. But it sparkles like you wouldn't believe outside.
It just didn't show.
All right, can you carry that whole thing out? We're gonna go out and put it out there. What are we at time-wise?
12.
12? I couldn't jabber more than that. Man, I'm really slipping here, guys. It's been so windy the last few days. We had some unbelievable storms here. We're in the middle of Maryland, central Maryland, Carroll County, and in the middle of Carroll County. Then we'll discuss another thing I had going. You got a hyacinth over there, dear. Isn't that what that is?
Yep.
Smells like spring around here with all the hyacinths. Hang this up. Give it a twirl. That thing is still neat. Is it getting the, I don't know if it gets the right twirl down here. Yeah, you can see it kind of looks like it gets shorter, bigger and smaller. When they both get going with just the right breeze, it's kind of neat. I kind of enjoy them. They got a little, this one here got a little bent up on the crash. But it'll be all right. And it's got this little crystal ball in the center. All right, that's that for that. When these lights shine on them at night, these are little, what do you call it, solar lights. They'll sparkle all night long, catch your eye all night long. Now we'll go up to the big truck. The big truck, I came out the other day and this side was really low. I said, something's wrong. And what was wrong was this tire here was flat. And I spent 2 to 3 hours trying to get that. It came off the bead. Came off the bead here, and I could not get it to go back on. And I worked on it and worked on it and worked on it. I did tires for 20 years, guys. And this thing was more aggravating than this old man could handle. So I ended up taking it off. It held air from when I did that ground grabber review till just now. I don't really know what particularly gave up the ghost, but it gave up the ghost. So when I took it up to the tire store, I said, I need air in my tire. And they fixed it, and they said it was leaking around the valve stem. So they put a new valve stem in it. So I'm just kind of putting it on, showing you. I always got stuff going on here. So, always stuff going on here. Never a dull moment. I want that thing to flip over a little bit. It's not centered. I went the wrong way. They don't have to be centered, I don't think, because they're gonna go on that bud wheel. But I like them in the center of the lug pattern. Come on, tire. You were just there a minute ago. Might have to back it back out so it'll rock more. But I don't want it to come off. The hard part was getting it on there. There it goes. That's pretty good right there. Still missed it a little bit. I think it'll be fine. I'll put a torque wrench on it after I let it down on the ground. I don't know what this thing's torquing it to, and I know what the torque wrench will torque it do. This thing's got a starting problem. So do I. I don't get out of the house till it go. So right now I got on the starter, just the wire between the starter switch and the starter somewhere lost connection. I don't know if the squirrels ate it up. The weather has not been nice enough that I even felt like messing with it. Let me check to make sure it's in neutral, which it should be because I just started it the other day. And we're going to let it back down on the tire is what we're going to do. Hopefully it'll start. Didn't preheat it. Oh, you know, I didn't turn the key switch on. I'm so used to doing that with a starter, or with a Jeep, I mean, or a tractor. I guess turning the key switch on seems to be important. I don't know why they do stuff like that. Maybe not. Now, I started the other day because I put it up here, but I can't preheat it. It won't preheat. Well, I'm going to mess with that later because I don't feel like getting into it right now. I might have to bring a heater out. It's actually cooler out here than you think. So we'll do that later. Now we'll go up there. We'll go up there and show you the wood that we saw the other day. By the time you see this, it'll probably be a week in the past. So the wood we got here, and we got it on Craigslist, and ain't nobody interested at all. We got 168 board feet of wood here, and I got it listed at like 95 cents a board foot. It's oak. There's some 2x4s. I have a whole listing on Craigslist what it is. Nobody's even interested in that. So it goes to show you that, you know, I can saw it, but now, as cool as it is, I won't have to sticker it for another few days. But in a few days, I'm going to have to sticker it and think about storing it or something like that. and I just don't feel like doing that with the wood, so I'd rather sell it at 95 cents a board foot. I got these two. These two are the boards that I needed out of that. These are 2 inches by 14 inches by, they only need 8 foot, but the log was 8.5 feet long, which is good because then you can cut a piece off. This is just a beam that's here. This is an extra one that I'm trying to sell, which is actually, if you look at the grain, is quarter sawed when you look at the top, but it's all oak. I think it might be black oak. I kind of don't think it's red oak. Just because it looks red, I don't think it means that it's red oak. A lot of times the red oak just means that it's, I think red oak is supposed to be, was named red oak because the leaves are red in the fall. You'd have to look that up to verify that. So that's about where we're at. I got to figure out why the truck didn't start so I can let it down. What time are we at now?
20.
20? Well, we got a minute to turn on the preheater a minute. We'll try that. What the heck, guys? I guess the key switch is still on anyway because I was too stupid to remember to turn it off. I don't know if it'll preheat or not. That's the preheat. This park brake's on. Watch your paint dry here, guys. All right. Let's see. It'll probably start up now. It's a few minutes of preheat, even though that was only a minute. You're gonna get smoked out. It likes a minute of preheat. It's always like that. But what we'll do is we'll let it down and put the boom back, I guess. So you can come back there and go back and get the whole truck. I use the what do you call it? Jacks or stabilizers to jack it up. It works pretty good. So I think you got that. That's about it for nonsense that I'm doing today. I still have a lot of other nonsense to do. I was back at the sawmill, and that's a flooded out mess right now, so it just needs Mother Nature to let it dry, but there's rain coming in. I'm think tomorrow, maybe Monday. So we're not going to mess back there. Mouse count's up to 102, but I haven't checked any of the traps today. So that lets you know. In fact, I'll look for one in here. Nope, nothing here. So that's about it for today. I'm going to let the truck exercise a little bit. Needs it. And appreciate you coming around. You'll probably see this a week from today. I got a feeling because we're going to be having sawmill videos on, which you'll have seen by the time you see this. And yap, 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 and all that kind of stuff. So thanks for stopping by. Send it to a friend, and we'll see you next time. Bye.